Welcome to Beyond Basic Yoga for Dummies. Hi, I'm Sarah Ivanhoe. I have created this workout to build on the foundation we learned in our basic yoga workout for dummies. But don't worry, if you are not familiar with my last program, you can still practice and enjoy this slightly more challenging yoga practice. But remember, yoga is not a competition, so always go at your own pace and fitness level. Beyond Basic Yoga for Dummies will encompass these 12 postures or poses. I like to call them the Daily Dozen. I've selected them because together they form a very complete and vibrant yoga workout. Throughout the routine, you will see a split screen. This is to show variations on the postures, either a basic or challenge. In addition, I will illustrate common mistakes to guarantee you get the most out of your workout. You will also see these helpful icons. The Remember icon will act as a reminder to keep you focused and alert. Tip will introduce facts and insights to assist you in your yoga practice. Mythbuster will help you discern fact from fiction. The Jargon Alert icon will translate yoga speak into normal English. And finally, Beware will draw attention to common don'ts to keep you comfortable and injury-free. Here's what you need to know before we get started. Always practice in bare feet on a non-slip surface. I use a yoga or sticky mat. Wear clothes that are comfortable and easy to move in. Have a pillow and strap nearby as needed. I hope you will make Beyond Basic Yoga for Dummies a very personal yoga practice. I created it to be easy to follow and yet very effective and powerful. So, let's begin. Before we head into our daily dozen, I'd like to take a couple of minutes to warm up the upper body and get connected to the breath. Connecting the body with the breath is really what makes yoga different from other athletics. Simply stand in mountain pose with your feet hips distance and parallel. Lift the lower belly in as you drop the tailbone down. Lift up through the chest and stand very tall. We'll start with shoulder circles. Lift both shoulders up towards your ears, then together behind you, down, forward, and then up again. Let's do this 3 more times this direction. So it's up, back, down, and forward. 2 more times, breathing.
In yoga, the breath is extremely important. It should always go in and out through the nose.
Now let's do the shoulder circles the other way. Lift the shoulders up, forward, down, and back. Really gently, just to get you warmed up. 3 more cycles. Let's step that up a little to include the whole arm. Reach your right arm forward, up to the ceiling, back behind you, and then down to the floor. It's not a fancy move, but it really gets the body going. 3 more times. Forward, up, back, and down.
Try to eliminate all distractions. This is your time. Make the most of it.
Last round, really breathe. And then relax the arm. Side 2, sweeps the left arm forward, then up, back, and then down. 3 more circles, breathing.
To do yoga, I have to do big fancy stretches. False. Even the simplest movements are yoga if you are breathing consciously.
And then allow the arm to rest. Next, interlace your fingers in front of you. Squeeze your arms straight and then reach them up over your head with the palms facing down. We'll be holding the stretch for 6 full breaths. On the inhale, straighten your arms as much as is possible. On the exhale, relax the shoulders. Inhale, exhale.
There is a tendency to sway in the lower back during this stretch. Be mindful to stabilize your midsection by lifting the belly in and dropping the tailbone down to avoid discomfort or injury.
Last deep breath, and on the exhale, let your arms come down. Now, interlace your fingers behind you. Again, squeeze your arms straight and begin to lift the hands up, up, up. Keep your belly in as you lift through the chest. Let's start our 6 breaths. Inhale slowly, exhale. Deepen the breath. Inhale, exhale.
In yoga, you should always work within your comfort level. If this stretch is difficult for you, try using a strap or belt to maximize the pose. Never stress or strain.
Last breath, inhaling, and then release the hands on the exhale. The last stretch in our warm-up series is my favorite. I do it all the time. Interlace your fingers in front of you, then turn them inside out and reach them up over your head again. This time, the palms should be facing up to the ceiling. Squeeze the arms straight and let's start breathing. Inhale and exhale.
I have to be home or in a class to practice yoga. False. Yoga can provide a break at the office. This pose can be done sitting at your desk.
Take one last full breath in, and then release the arms on the exhale. My upper body feels nice and loose now. I think we're ready to start our daily dozen poses. Now that our upper bodies are nice and warmed up, we're going to get our lower bodies moving with a pose called the chair. Keep your feet in the same spot, hips distance. We're going to start by doing half chair once first, just to get the legs used to moving. Place your hands on your hips with your shoulders relaxed. Inhale to lift up through the chest, and on the exhale, bend your knees and drop your butt like you're going to sit in a chair. Right now, only bend your knees 4 to 6 inches. Believe me, it will be enough to start feeling something. Let's begin our 6 breaths. Inhale and exhale. Through the nose. Inhale, exhale.
Chair is also called the lightning bolt because your body makes the shape of a bolt of lightning. That name reminds us this posture is energizing and builds strength and stamina.
Last breath, and then come up to standing as you float your arms down by your sides. That was a nice way to warm up the legs to get them ready for full chair. Keep your feet as they are, but this time bring your arms out by your sides like an airplane. Relax the shoulders. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, sink down into the pose, bending the knees until, ultimately, the thighs are parallel to the floor. Let's begin our 6 breaths. Inhale to lift through the chest, and exhale to stay relaxed in the jaw and forehead.
For a modified or basic option, keep hands on your hips to assist with balance. When you're ready for more of a challenge, bring your arms up over your head.
Exhale fully, and then come all the way up to standing, releasing the arms down by your sides. That was quite a challenge. We're definitely beyond the basics here. Take a few deep breaths because we're just getting started. The warrior pose takes a lot of strength, and you may not be able to do it perfectly at first. Every time you do it, your body gets a little stronger. So just do what you can and know that every little bit counts. To set up for warrior pose, step your right foot back towards the end of the mat. Turn your body to the right so that you are squared to the front. Start by turning your left toes out 90 degrees so that they face the front. Your back foot turns in so the foot is at a 45-degree angle. Press down the outside of the back foot and squeeze your back leg straight. Reach your arms up so that they are parallel to the floor while the shoulders stay relaxed. Because this pose is challenging, we're going to start by using vinyasa. That means we'll be using the breath and movement together dynamically. Take a big inhale to start, and on the exhale, bend your left knee until the thigh is parallel to the floor. Inhale to come back up, and then exhale to come back down again. Press down through the left heel to come up, and we'll do this one more time. Inhale fully, exhale to bend the knee, and inhale to come up and release your arms. Doing the pose dynamically warms the body up and gives you the idea of how the pose will feel. Now we're going to take the pose in a static version where we hold it for 6 breaths. Inhale the arms up and exhale to bend at the knee. Here we go. Inhale, exhale.
Avoid the tendency to let the bending knee flop in. Keep the knee in alignment by guiding it straight over the middle toe.
Inhale to lift through the chest. Exhale to relax the shoulders. Inhale, exhale, and then press down through the right heel to come up, and on the exhale, release your arms. Great, that is a lot of work. Let's get it on the other side. Turn the right toes out and the left toes in. Press down the outside of the left foot and engage all of the muscles in the leg to straighten and stabilize it. Raise your arms to shoulder height and keep the muscles in the face relaxed. Let's start the vinyasa. Inhale to get tall and exhale to bend the right knee. Press down through the heel to come up to standing, and then exhale to sink down into the pose. Inhaling up, and last time, exhale gently down. Big breath in as you come up, as you release your arms down by your sides. You want to make sure that your knee is directly above your ankle. If the feet are too close together, the knee can go past the foot and cause extra pressure on the knee joint, which we don't want. If this is happening to you, just scoot your feet a little wider. It's always a little wider than you think you need. It's better to be safe than sorry. Okay? Now let's do the pose for 6 breaths. Inhale the arms up, and then exhale, sink fully down until your right thigh is parallel to the floor. Ultimately, you make a 90-degree angle with your right leg. Keep on breathing, you're gonna need it.
Avoid letting your eyes wander. Set your gaze on one fixed spot in front of you.
Exhale all the air out, and then on the inhale, come up and relax the arms. Turn your feet straight ahead and take a moment's rest before we move on. The foundation of triangle is the feet. They should be about 4 feet wide. Then, as we did for warrior pose, turn the left foot out so that it is pointing directly to the side, and turn your right foot until it reaches a 45-degree angle. You want to have the left second toe lined up with the arch of the back foot. Make sure that the feet are lined up properly so that everything else lines up as well. Engage all the muscles in the legs by drawing the kneecaps up. Raise the arms up until they are level with the floor. Take a nice big inhale here, and on the exhale, hinge at your hips, leaning the body as forward as it will go. Once you've gotten some length in the spine, release the left hand down either to the shin, the ankle, or to the floor, wherever it is most comfortable for you. The right arm extends up to the ceiling. There's a tendency here for the butt to stick out the back and the chest to collapse forward. Carefully scoop the butt under while you draw the shoulders down the back. Look straight ahead. Let's begin our 6 breaths. Inhale and exhale.
To get started with this pose, you can look down at your feet. For more of a challenge, look up. Ultimately, in triangle pose, you look up to the hand.
Exhale the breath fully, and then on the inhale, lead with the top hand to come up. Release the hands down, and then switch sides with the feet. The right toes turn out 90 degrees, and the left toes turn in 45 degrees. Lift the lower belly in, and drop the tailbone down. Raise the arms up as you relax the shoulders down. Inhale fully, and then on the exhale, reach the body as forward as is possible, and then reach the right hand down and your left hand up. The idea is to create a straight line from the tip of your tailbone to the top of your head. So if the middle of your back is blooping up, gently lengthen it. Let's start breathing. Inhale the spine long, and exhale the shoulders away from the ears.
To check position of feet, imagine drawing a line starting at the toes of the right foot and going straight through that heel toward your left foot. That line should meet at the arch of your left foot.
Exhale fully, and then come up on the inhale and release your arms down by your sides. Again, point the feet straight ahead and take a couple of deep breaths before we move on to pose number 4. In almost every yoga class, there will be some version of a standing forward bend. As a step up from the basics, we are going to do the wide leg version of this pose. Your feet are already in the right place, about 4 feet wide. The toes are already where they should be, pointing directly forward. Like you did in the other standing poses, engage the muscles in the legs. Another way to say that is to lift the kneecaps up without jamming. Generally, in yoga, when your legs are straight, you want to be doing this action. Sometimes it takes a little while to get the muscles to respond. Don't make yourself too crazy about it. Just keep giving it a try and do the best you can. So to begin, place your hands on your hips. Take a nice big inhale into the chest, and on the exhale, bend forward, placing your hands on the floor in line with the toes. Reach your chest forward as you draw the shoulders back away from the ears. Lengthen the spine as much as is possible. We're going to go into the pose dynamically with vinyasa, and then we'll hold the stretch for 6 breaths. Okay, so start here by inhaling, and then exhale as you place the top of the head towards the floor. Inhale the spine long. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale. Exhale.
Yoga takes time and practice. Don't worry if your head doesn't touch the floor. Yoga is a personal practice, not a competition.
Inhale to reach the chest forward, and this time as you exhale, release the top of the head towards the floor and hold it there. We're going to hold this pose for 6 full breaths. Even if the top of your head doesn't reach the floor, do draw the shoulders up and away from the floor to lengthen the neck. Start your 6 breaths, inhaling and exhaling.
If your hands don't reach the floor, don't worry. Try placing them on a chair for support. This is a great pose to release the pressure in your lower back.
Inhale to lengthen the spine and reach your chest forward. Exhale, place the hands on your hips and then shoulders back, lead with the chest, come all the way up to standing on the inhale. Release your arms and take a couple of really deep breaths here. We're going to come back to the front of the mat. So exhale, and then in one fell swoop, go ahead and bring yourself all the way back to the front and release your hands down. Now that we've done all those poses to open the legs and hips, we're going to do a twist to help balance out the back. The low lunge twist continues to stretch out the hips while creating flexibility in the spine. We'll start by taking a deep bend in the knees and placing the hands on the floor in line with the toes. Step your left foot way, way, way back and release the knee to the floor. Sink the hips forward and down, taking care that the knee does not lean past the foot. If it does, just use your hand to give it a nice clunk forward. You want the knee to be directly above the ankle so that there will be no overstretching. Then, place your hands on top of your thigh and bring your body upright. Take a breath here, then bring your palms together at your heart into prayer position. Here's where it can get confusing, so listen up. Twist your body to the right and place the outside of your left elbow onto the outside of your right knee. I'll say that again. Left elbow to the right knee. Lift up out of the bottom shoulder so that you're not collapsing, and then let's begin 6 breaths. Inhale to lift the chest up, and exhale to twist a little more.
If the knee is sensitive in this pose, place a towel or cushion under it for padding. Because twists release toxins, drink plenty of water when you are done.
Last breath, really twist, and then exhale to release the hands to the floor. And we'll just switch sides. Step the right foot back and take the left foot forward. Forward enough to line up the foot with the knee. Sink your hips forward and down, and then bring the hands on top of the left thigh. Bring the body upright and allow the palms to come together into prayer. Take a big breath in, and on the exhale, twist the body to the left as you place the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Sink the hips forward and down again as you lift up out of the right shoulder. Let's start breathing. Inhale and exhale.
It's easy to stop breathing temporarily while in a twist posture. Don't let this happen. Complete, smooth breathing must always take first priority.
Last big inhale, and as you exhale, release your hands down. Make sure to release slowly. You never want to pop out of a pose. Sit back onto your heels and come into a kneeling position. In yoga, a lot of poses are actually named after animals or things in nature. The next pose in our daily dozen has kind of a funny name, the upward facing dog. It was named that because when a dog gets up from a nap, it does two stretches, and one of them looks like this. The other one, the downward facing dog, we did in the first basic routine. So if you want to know what that one looks like, you'll just have to check it out. Meanwhile, we are going to learn the upward facing dog pose. It is a pretty intense back bend, so we're going to learn it in stages. We'll start by coming onto our bellies and placing our hands in the middle of our chest, fingers pointing forward. Hug the elbows tightly into the body and shrug the shoulders together behind you. The belly draws in and the tailbone drops down. Press the tops of the feet down into the floor. Start by using the muscles in the back to bring the shoulders up off the floor a couple of inches. Then keep squeezing the elbows in and begin to use the strength of your arms to press down into the floor, drawing the upper body up into a back bend. This is a preparation for upward dog, but it also has a name that we learned in the basic workout. It's called the cobra. We'll hold cobra for 6 full breaths.
Do not allow the elbows to flop out to the sides. This could cause injury to the shoulders. Instead, keep the elbows slightly bent and hugged into the ribs.
Last deep breath in and exhale. Release yourself down. Take a little mini rest. Upward dog is just like the cobra, but this time the legs actually come off the floor so that the whole body is standing on the hands and the tops of the feet. It requires a lot of abdominal strength. Let's give it a try. Press the feet down and then tighten the legs. Belly draws in and the tailbone scoops to the floor. Hands in the middle of your chest. Start by using the muscles in your back first, and then slowly use the arms to press the upper body into the back bend. Then use a little extra strength to lift the whole body up and off the floor. You maintain the shape of the back bend, but your body is elevated. This is challenging, so if it's too much, don't worry about it. Go back to the cobra pose, and it will help you to build up the strength that you need. This is a hard pose, so let's get started on the 6 breaths.
Use core body strength, the belly and the butt, to lift and keep the body in place during this challenging pose.
Lift the chest up, look up and take a nice big inhale. This is a very heroic pose, and then release on the exhale. That is a big pose, so move slowly to get yourself back onto your heels, sitting up tall. Like I mentioned, there are a lot of poses in yoga that are named after animals. This is another one called the dolphin. It is a great way to open the shoulders as well as increase strength in the upper body. At the same time, it will stretch out the hamstrings and calves while strengthening the front of the thighs. All of this from one pose. Let's get started by placing the elbows down onto the floor directly underneath the shoulders. Then, interlace the fingers and press the entire forearm firmly down into the floor. We're going to take this pose dynamically with the breath vinyasa. Start by curling the toes under. Inhale here, then begin to straighten the legs and lift the hips up to the ceiling on the exhale. It's okay if your legs don't straighten all the way. I'm not keeping score. Inhale to release the knees back down. And then exhale again. Heels press down, thighs press back. Inhale to release the knees to the floor. And this time, exhale and hold the pose. With a little more intention, squeeze the thighs. It should be as if the muscles in the thighs are pulling the body backwards. Release your head and neck, and let's begin our 6 breaths here.
Do not jam the shoulders. Rather than pushing your chest down, try to lengthen the hips up and back, which will create space in the shoulders, ultimately getting you the flexibility you want. Yoga should always be a challenge. False. Yoga is about self-acceptance and doing your best, whatever your fitness level.
Lift the hips way back and up away from the shoulders, and then release your knees all the way down to the floor. Uncurl your toes and sit back on your heels. Gently roll your body upright. You've just done one of the best yoga poses for your posture. All day long, we sit hunched over a desk or steering wheel. The dolphin pose really helps to undo that hunching over process. Sit for a moment and feel how tall you are now. In ancient yogic traditions, the cow is a sacred animal, so this pose is special. It is also one of the more complicated poses that we will do, so make sure to have patience with yourself and do the best you can. Sit down with your legs crossed comfortably. Put your right foot in front. Then bring the foot all the way to the left hip so that ultimately your knees line up. If this is too much of a challenge, just sit with your legs crossed comfortably. Now we're going to add the arms to the equation. When your right leg is over, the right arm goes under, and your left arm goes over. Try to clasp your hands on your back behind you. Relax. Try to squeeze the left elbow more to the midline. That means try to point it directly to the ceiling. At the same time, keep your shoulders on your back, not hunching forward. Let's begin 6 breaths.
If your hands do not reach, use a strap or belt to modify this pose. Keep the jaw and face soft. This will help relax tension and allow the shoulders to open.
Take a last breath. Stay here. Now we're going to fold the whole thing forward, increasing the stretch. Take a big inhale, and on the exhale, lean the body forward and down. If possible, use the chest to press the knees down as you squeeze the elbows up to the ceiling. 6 breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling.
The cow is a sacred pose. Do it with pride. You are now part of a long tradition of yoga.
Exhale fully and then lead with the chest as you come up on the inhale. It is important to move slowly as you come out of the pose. Release your arms and then slowly release your legs as well. Let's move gently to get the whole thing on the other side. Cross the left leg over the right, lining up the knees. It usually takes a little scooching around to get your body just right. Feet out to the sides, right by your hips. Sit tall. Then, when the left leg is on top, the left arm goes underneath. Right arm goes over. Feel free to get your strap now if you need it. Again, keep that belly in to stabilize the back, and let's start our 6 breaths.
Once the pose is over, it's over. False. The process of exiting and entering your poses are just as important as the pose itself, so pay attention. It's common that one side is more or less flexible than the other, so be gentle and mindful throughout the entire posture.
Okay, we're moving into the forward bend. Inhale, and on the exhale, fold forward. Use the belly muscles to keep you grounded. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose.
Yoga has been around for thousands of years. That's because it works. Make yoga a part of your lifestyle, and you will really see changes in the way you look and how you feel.
Exhale fully, and then inhale, leading with the chest to come all the way up to sitting, and come out of the pose slowly. No popping. Sit tall with your legs crossed comfortably, and catch your breath. Feel the effects that the pose had on your body. Next is the seated forward bend. It's pretty simple, but not easy. Start by stretching your legs out to the sides as far as they will comfortably go. If you're tight in the hips, place a towel or cushion under your butt to give your body a lift and make the stretch easier. Don't force the legs out. Just open them until you're getting a little stretch. Flex the feet. That means pull the toes back towards your knees and then press the knees down towards the floor. Place the hands down on the floor in front of you. Now it's okay to remain here. For some of you, this is already a big stretch. If you want more from the pose, take a big breath in to lengthen the spine and then begin to reach the body forward. Go just a little at first, and when it's comfortable, lower down a little more. Try to avoid rounding your back. Instead, lengthen the head and chest forward. You may not get down as far at first, but it will be a safer and more effective stretch. Relax your head. Now, since we're on the floor and there's nothing to see, I recommend closing your eyes at this point. It's a nice time to start relaxing. Let's begin 6 full, relaxing breaths.
For less of a stretch, Walk your hands back up and sit up tall. For a challenge, begin to walk your hands down the floor in front of you. Gently pressing down on the knees and flexing the feet will engage the muscles in the legs, preventing potential injury to the knees.
Exhale fully, and then on the inhale, come all the way up to sitting. Go ahead and open your eyes. Forward bends are inherently relaxing. Bring your legs together and feel the breath starting to slow down. After all this work, it's time to start relaxing. We're going to move into a restorative pose called reclined butterfly. It is one of my favorite poses of all time because it allows the hips to open without any work on your part. All you have to do is lie down on your back. Already it feels good, right? Hug the knees into the chest just to relieve any tension in your lower back. Then release your feet down to the floor. Bring the bottoms of your feet together and allow the knees to drop open. Now for some of you, the knees will stop here. That's totally okay. Don't force them down. Just relax, and when they are ready to go a little further, they will on their own. Interlace your fingers and turn them inside out, reaching your arms up and over your head. Take a couple of breaths here to clear out the lungs and create some space between the ribs. The idea is to cleanse the body using the breath. Take 6 breaths here.
Think of a butterfly during this pose. Your open knees resemble the graceful shape of butterfly wings. Don't ever force your knees down. A restorative pose allows the hips to open just by relaxing. The flexibility will come when the body is ready.
Take a last inhale, and on the exhale, place both hands on your lower belly. Rest here in a totally relaxed position for 6 more breaths.
Do not force the breath to be any certain way. Just allow it to slow down naturally. Yoga is a mental and physical practice. The ability to reduce stress and to relax is as important as the physical benefits you will receive.
Take one last deep breath and then hug your knees into your chest slowly. It is important to come into and out of your yoga poses slowly and consciously. Be gentle with your body. Lying on your back, give your knees a firm hug into your chest to release any tension in the back. We're going to do a spinal twist to get the last couple of kinks out of the body. A spinal twist should feel good, so rather than trying to perfect the pose, just relax and enjoy it. We'll start by keeping the right knee hugged into the body and stretching the left leg down onto the floor. With your left hand, tip the right knee all the way over to the left side as you stretch the right arm to the right. Look out over the right shoulder. It is okay if the knee doesn't touch the floor, and in my book, it is also okay if the shoulder doesn't reach the floor. Play around with the alignment that feels best for you. Ultimately, both the knee and the shoulder touch, but just do the best you can and start taking 6 full breaths.
If you find this stretch too intense, try bending both knees in and tipping both over to the side. Do not tug. Gentle pressure combined with breathing will encourage muscles to relax.
Take a last deep breath and then bring both knees into the chest and rock them around. We'll get the twist on the other side. Keep the left knee hugged in and stretch the right leg all the way flat on the floor. With your right hand, tip the left knee all the way over to the right side and then look over your left shoulder. Find a position where the body is getting a stretch but is comfortable and relaxing. You've worked enough. Now is the time to start to slow down. Start taking the 6 breaths now. Inhale and exhale.
Taking out time to focus on relaxation will help you feel rejuvenated and balanced.
Take one last deep breath to get all the kinks out of the body. And then slowly release and hug both knees back into the chest and rock them around. Keep rocking to relieve any strain in the back. The last pose in our daily dozen is the final relaxation pose. We learned this pose in the first Dummies routine, but I've included it in our sequence again to reinforce its importance. There are many styles of yoga and they all disagree on most things, but taking the time to relax after a practice is the one thing that almost everyone agrees on. The idea is that we've done so much to build strength, increase flexibility, and release tension that now we need to take a moment to let the benefits of all of that work soak in and take effect. The excess tension may be out, but now is the time for the body to recharge and allow the new, fresh energy to come in and provide rejuvenation. Sound good? I think you've earned it. So lie down on your back and stretch the legs all the way down on the floor. Allow the feet to flop open and give the toes a little wiggle so that you know you're not holding any tension there. Your arms should be out by your sides with the palms facing up. Also give the fingers a little wiggle and then let them go. The hands are a common place to hold tension, so breathe and start to release. Shrug the shoulders down away from the ears. Lastly, move the muscles around a little in the face to relieve any tension in the jaw. Close your eyes. Here comes the fun part. We'll be holding this pose for a lot longer than 6 breaths. You'll have a couple of minutes here to relax. There is nothing to see on the TV screen, so you don't need to watch. Just keep your eyes closed, take some deep breaths, and start relaxing.
If this is uncomfortable for your back, feel free to place a cushion under your knees for support. Try using eye bags or a soft scarf over the eyes to block out light and aid in meditation and relaxation. Try this pose anytime you need a mindful, relaxing, restorative break. It also is a great sleep inducer. Never skip final relaxation. It's an important part of your yoga practice.
Take a last deep breath and then begin to bring your attention back. Wiggle your fingers and toes and then hug the knees into the chest and rock them around. Roll to your right side and then use your hands to bring yourself up to sitting. Try to keep your eyes closed. There's nothing to see, and closed eyes helps you to keep the focus on you and your breathing. Sit tall and with your legs crossed comfortably. Breathe. Remember, our goal to be beyond the basics is not only to do more challenging poses, but also to breathe fully in each one of them. We really did that here. We stepped the routine up several notches, but kept focus on the breath the whole time. And you should feel good about that. That is the makings of a true yoga practitioner. At the closing of each yoga session, we say the word Namaste. It translates to mean the divine light in me salutes the divine light in you. So bring the palms together at your heart and say it along with me. Namaste.